How's that for an intro for you, Mike? Can we say that?
I don't know if we want to say that.
Yeah, okay, let's put it this way. To be as transparent as possible, otherwise you're going to cry.
So we met overseas and got married in New Zealand when we were very young. And that's where we had our first son, Wyatt.
We had Shiloh number 2. And then we were blessed with twins, which was a massive surprise. We doubled Sophie, and then 20 minutes later, Noah, and then had a Weston, who's now 12 years old. And yeah, it is very wild and loud, but lots and lots of fun, lots and lots of love.
I grew up in a house with foster kids. My parents, I'm one of 6 bio kids, but my parents also fostered. So our house was always full of lots of children. And my parents took on the really, really difficult cases. So I was used to, something probably a little bit unusual, but it was normal to me.
Being a part of a big family is really fun. I don't think I'd want to have it any other way. I love how there's always just so much energy and everyone is always loving each other. And it just makes every day an adventure, a really exciting adventure.
So we got Bella at 6 weeks old and adopted her at 2.5. And she was a joy for us. The kids embraced her and loved her. She added to our family. She added to the noise level and everything. It was a massive blessing for us.
When Bella joined the family, it just added a better layer. I think adding her in was just like perfect, and she fit in perfectly. And I can't even remember what our life was without her.
And so when Holly came to me and to the family with the idea of getting into fostering again, after we adopted Bella, how long did we wait? Just a few months?
Just a few months, yeah.
And the program then called up Holly and said, hey, we have a child who has more intensive needs. Can you guys take him? I thought it was going to be the same thing, but I was wrong.
So we got Reuben at a year old. We met him. He was in the hospital and had spent most of his first year in hospital. He was born with a congenital heart disease, and he came with an oxygen tank and with a pulse oximeter and with a feeding tube. So there was a lot for me to learn. It was a huge learning curve. Spent a few weeks in the hospital being taught how to take care of him.
When Reuben joined the family, he was just attached to a ton of things. So it was like he couldn't walk around. The hardest part was definitely the constant help with just helping, like silencing the machines, helping Mom.
So I didn't see Holly for a while there. We lost her and he would throw up. And it was just awful to see him go through what he had to go through, always trying to deal with stuff because of the feeding tube. It's a high learning curve. We had to go through surgeries, hospital visits. If the feeding tube came out, lots and lots of things that we were not prepared for. And it just really wore us down and was very, very tough.
Running on very, very little sleep and trying to take care of 7 children, it was definitely beyond my own abilities.
It was hard to see how much energy that it took. Like every little thing was just a lot for her to deal with and take care of. And it was hard because a lot of that stuff we couldn't help with.
First of all, we didn't know if we were going to adopt him, right, or whatever. And you don't know if he's going to make it. So you're just holding a part of your heart back. And I just know that God was challenging me to say, hey, thank you for that. But he deserves all of your heart because he deserves love. And he's not second class. He's not anything like that. In the same way that God has adopted us.
At first, it was a little hard to love him because just of how much that he needed and all the dangers and stuff that surrounded him. It was hard to love on him like a normal child to love on. But I think through that and being able to see how strong he has been through all of it has made my love for him just grow even more deeper.
There is this awful thing, it's awful for me to say out loud, but there is the thing that you're pouring out so much. I just have had to find the heart of God so that I could tap into something that's beyond myself. I mean, it's not humanly possible for me to love the way that he and our kids deserve.
Just seeing when we first got him, it's incredible to see how much he's been able to grow, even with all of the challenges that he's been through.
I think this experience with Ruben has given me so much compassion and understanding of what a lot of families go through. And it's really just made me so aware of how much we rely on the Lord and on the hope that we have with Him.
In some ways, it's beyond human love to do it. And so we have to abide in the vine so that we can share that life. I think otherwise we would give up. I think otherwise it would be too much.
Ruben has one more major surgery coming up, probably within the next year or so, putting our hope again in the Lord and that we can trust Him with Ruben's story.
We can trust Him with Ruben's story.